Yeah.
Are we?
Alright, ready?
Yep.
Hello and welcome to another episode of CineMortuary. I'm Chris, and as always, I guess I'm joined by Dave.
Hi.
And Rob.
Hi, Chris.
And this week, fortnight, I guess, on CineMortuary, we're going to cover another one of my cinematic classics. One from
Yours
the ages.
personally.
Yeah, one of the greats.
Like Gone with the Wind, but much, much better. It is, of course, Sharknado 2, the second one.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, so...
Why?
Why?
right, it's sharks and they're in tornadoes.
Okay.
Factually correct.
That
Like
works.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Or to give a longer backstory, essentially after I finished university, I found myself quite unemployed for... what was it, 14, 15 months or so. It was a bit shit, really.
Yep.
But one of my highlights during that time was I got to watch a lot of original sci-fi films because I had nothing better to do. It was basically watching that and TNA Impact.
Jesus, what's worse?
Yeah, I know.
No. Okay.
I'm about to say it was a dark time, but but out the lightness of light at the end of the tunnel. Was the first Sharknado film, which for me it was a bit like, like all the nerds. It started with Iron Man and it was building up to the Avengers, and it finally happened.
Yeah.
Well, Sharknado was that for me. It built up with all the different films I saw.
Yeah.
I once saw a film where Zach Morris had to save Tennessee from a nuclear meltdown.
Okay.
And I've seen all sorts of hurricanes and asteroids, all sorts of not even C-list, D-list stars in it who had better days.
Yeah.
And Sharknado was the culmination of all
You went
those
into
films.
a dark, murky rabbit hole of TV movies for 18 months, is what you're saying.
I did, yes.
You're basically a fan of the Asylum Panathon, then.
I am, yeah.
Right, very good.
Yeah, the Asylum, it's always been an interesting one because I was first made aware of them when they did a knockoff of Snakes on a Plane.
Right.
I can't remember what it was called now. It was like Snakes on a Train or something ridiculous like that they did, yeah. I remember did the likes of Transmorphers.
Yeah.
But as they slowly went along, I think they found their niche.
Niche.
Yeah, their niche in doing these sort of disaster, animal tinged sort of films.
Yeah. The copyright department must consist of the 10 greatest spin artists in the world.
Yeah.
Who have everything locked down so fucking tight that when Universal come to them and say, look mate, you can't make a film called Kong King, and they're like, actually we can because of this.
Yeah. Look, the letters are in a different order.
Oh fuck yeah, you've got us there, man.
Yeah.
Two-thirds of the crew are made up of lawyers.
Yeah.
And most time it sounds like they've written the scripts as well.
Yes.
Way it goes.
Yeah. I was I'm quite confused. This film confuses me in many ways because it's shite.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Undeniable.
Boo.
And I do like my shite movies. I like my Roger Cormans. I like the fact that Carnosaur deliberately came out 2 weeks before Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
So that it got press coverage, and it's shit.
Yeah.
It's massively shit.
The marketing's genius.
Yeah.
You have to give it to him on that front.
But at the same time, I think he wholeheartedly he'd made an alright film. Whereas with this, I think they know they're making dog shit, but I'm not entirely sure, because some of it has conviction.
The thing is, I've read a lot of articles online where I'm under the impression that the creators of it, at the Asylum end, the production company, are deadly serious when it comes to these sorts of films.
Yeah.
I think Sharknado is probably the first one we'll see when they start getting a bit more self-aware, but certainly before that, I think they've thought they were making works of art.
Because I remember they did something that was basically a Dawn of the Dead rip-off, and it had the same font in the marketing and everything, and it had Ving Rhames fighting a zombie tiger at the end.
Yeah, of course it did.
And it was actually okay, because it looked like they were trying. And I thought, is this Asylum? This is not what I expected, because I thought they were all self-aware, all taking the piss. But because that's a pre-Sharknado one, it feels like an actual exploitation movie that was really having a go for it. So I'm not really sure how I stand with them.
It was like another film that came before the original Sharknado, was Mega Shark versus Giant Octopus.
Right, yeah.
If you remember one scene from the film, it's where the guy's like sitting on the airplane, like flying along
With the...
Yeah, and suddenly he looks out window, he's like, oh shit, I've had a shark that's literally flown like 50,000 foot in the air.
And it just tags out the plane, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Like, I think when the plane just like explodes.
Yeah.
I
think in many ways, the first Sharknado film is the chocolate starfish and the hot dog flavoured water of the
Jesus Christ.
Asylum Panathon, isn't it? You know, and we're sort of slightly starting to get into Eat You Alive territory here.
Yeah. Okay.
DJ Yeomans, bring it on! Fucking hell.
Yeah, that's my off-piste comparison for the episode.
No, I like that. So I think we've all got a slightly different take on the Asylum, which is quite good for this.
We do, yeah.
Which would be quite nice. So I suppose we should just manoeuvre on in there.
And crack on with it. So, speaking of planes, we begin on a plane with our two heroes from the first film.
Yeah.
We've got Finn, Ian Ziering. I can never pronounce his second name.
Just go with Finn.
Yeah, we'll go with Finn. And
Man that sounds like Scott Bakula.
Yes, he does.
It's fucking weird.
Come on, April. Two of my friends were killed. I almost destroyed Los Angeles. And oh yeah, I got eaten by a shark. You may want to find someone with more field experience. A Mako.
You can't even say, like, we wanted Scott Bakula, but he wasn't available, because surely Scott Bakula is available.
Scott
Yeah, you
Bakula
would
is
have
very
thought so.
available, yeah.
I mean, from the off in this first scene, what I like about this element, in a sense, is that traditionally, when making a film, the first thing you establish, usually in the first shot, is your protagonists, you know, and you sort of establish their relationship, which they do. But the very first thing they establish is the Coors Light sponsorship.
Yes, mate.
Before any character, we need to get in the fucking... establish the fact that Coors Light is all over this fucking film.
Yes, mate.
Along with Subway, mate.
Box ticked.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Put up placement, give you the money now.
Exactly, yeah.
We've got to make the money back somehow, because this is quite a big budget film for them. I think this is like $5 million, and it's not even the most expensive Sharknado film. Well, I think like the third one goes up to 10 million, and I think even further along it increases. My God, yeah. So,
by God.
by God. So we've got Finn, and we've got Tara Reid, who seems to look different in every single camera angle, which is a bit weird.
Yep.
She's quite unnerving in this film.
She's quite android-like, which they actually write into the series later on. Spoilers.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
She looks like in some shots, like when it's obviously like a different film in Day a few hours later, it looks like she's taken some vitamins, shall we say, between the sort of setups almost.
Yeah. Looks a little bit livelier sometimes.
Look her straight in the eye, and it's interesting.
Yeah, when she has to pull an expression, sometimes the face just doesn't respond to that stimulus.
Yeah.
Looks scared.
You can start like so between takes, she's like looking over, like, come on, frown, do it, bastard,
Come on. Megan Fox can frown, I can frown.
CGI for frowning, fuck it.
I suppose one other thing I'd like to quickly tackle as well, off the bat, is the hero of the film called Sharknado being called Finn.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, guys, come on. I know it's Sci-Fi Channel, but play the game.
Fishing for that one.
For fuck's sake.
You need to
line
stop
and sinker.
You need to stop carping on about it.
Come on, mate. Seize the day.
Make it stop.
Yeah, let's move on. So they're on a plane flying to New York because they're going to do a press tour because Tara Reid has written a book called How to Survive a Sharknado.
comedy genius Tara Reid writing a book. Is
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
What's the other amazing fact is that they actually released this book, and I bought it, and it's amazing. It's How to Survive a Sharknado was actually a massive tie into the whole Asylum universe. So it's got every single creature that's ever that they've ever featured in one of the Asylum films. It's all in there, like basically telling you the plot to that film and how to kill it off.
Jesus, all right, yeah, fair props, yeah.
Yeah, so it was quite a good tie, actually.
Yeah.
So you could sort of diversify into book reviews.
We could, yeah.
Okay, maybe not
For that one book. Yeah.
For that one book, yeah.
We'll do it on our Patreon. Patreon.com/CineMortuary. Give us money.
Slash Feed My Willie.
Yeah, pay Wilson's petrol.
Exactly. It's expensive, damn it.
So after Kelly Osbourne's done some spiel and literally trying to keep herself on screen,
she's so fucking awful.
literally trying to keep herself on screen as much as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know why, it's just so unnecessary.
With somehow a fake British accent.
Yes.
I am so sorry to bother you, Mr. Shepherd, but we're all so excited to have you on board. Would you mind signing your book for me?
I didn't write that. April here did.
Would you mind? The read is truly riveting. I mean, what you did was just incredible. You're a hero.
Thank you.
Really.
We're actually having a signing in New York on Saturday, if you'd like to come.
Really? You're inviting me? Thank you so much. And again, we are so honored to have you both on board. Have a nice flight.
Yeah.
I've never seen so much time afforded to a second-rate air hostess.
Yeah,
Just jobbing away in the background.
Yeah.
There was a positive to be found, though.
Yes, mate.
In that, as soon as Kelly Osbourne came on screen,
Yeah.
the first time I saw this film, I thought, looking forward to this girl.
So they spend a lot of time on the plane before anything happens, but what we've got here, as established by the pilot's name being Bob Wilson, is that we've got an extended tribute parody of Nightmare at 20,000 Feet, the Twilight Zone episode with William Shatner losing his shit.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Something on the wing.
In this case, it's a shark. Yeah. So they established like a couple of like kills coming up. Like they've got a woman randomly going into the toilets after Finn. You know, they wouldn't show it unless there was going to be a punchline there.
Yep.
We've got fucking Will Wheaton on the plane for some reason.
Did not spot Will Wheaton.
Yeah, he's just basically sat there doing nothing.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
Like Will Wheaton does.
Yeah. Like
Shut up, Wesley!
I'm sure there's a couple of the celebrities in there, but I think this is one of the problems we're going to get during the film, is that I'm sure we're supposed to recognise quite a few people that show up, and it's like, the way you're framed and everything, I'm sure we're supposed to go, ha, it's you, but it's like, yeah, but I don't like watch really shitty American TV, so...
Yeah, I think that's the issue with a lot of the cameos, is it's kind of like the jobbers of American pop culture that are on it, and obviously we're not American.
They're giving people space and time in the film for a couple of lines here and there, like they do with Kurt Angle. Obviously we know who Kurt Angle is when he turns up later on, but they just sort of shoehorn him in more than you would if it was not a famous actor or person. If it wasn't a personality we were supposed to be recognising, they wouldn't say anything. There's no need for all these extra people. It's weird.
I'm going to reference another Simpsons Halloween episode. It's
fantastic.
I can't remember the name of it now, but it's the one that's parodying the Y2K bug, and so they all fly off to Mars, but it was like a plane full of geniuses, and then Homer and Bart end up on a plane with like all the worst celebrities in the world. This is literally this scene.
Yeah, basically it is, yeah.
So we get the sharks appearing and fucking shit up, and we get probably the best kill of the film, and back to Kelly Osbourne.
Yes.
Shark decapitation.
Yes.
I think is the best way of doing it.
It's up there. There is a kill later on that is my absolute fave. I will discuss it when we get there, but the Kelly Osbourne one is very, very strong, because it's, I won't say it's richly deserved, but at the same time it's not unrichly deserved.
Yeah. You kind of sit and smile through it.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. Why couldn't someone have done this during the series The Osbournes?
And Jack too.
Yeah, fuck you both.
The Osbournes. It's a fake.
So we get the pilots get eaten, so Finn has to try and land the plane. while this is happening, Tara Reid, she ends up on, she tries to join him, I believe, but then she gets intercepted by trying to save somebody who's been crushed by the catering wagon.
Yep.
And within the action, she gets her hand bitten off.
And for the next 5 minutes makes the most horrendous noises I've ever heard come out of a human being.
Yeah, it's like the lead singer of Faith No More.
It is
dubbed her.
Yeah.
Basically.
Yeah,
it's like she's deflating in a very grotesque way.
She does well with it. You've got to give her a hand.
I suppose she's trying. It's harmless enough, isn't it?
Plus, it must have cost an arm and a leg to do this scene anyway.
Oh, come on, mate.
So, Finn lands for plane.
Yeah, easy peasy.
Yeah, the day is saved.
Yeah, with his strong aviation background.
Of course, yeah. You know, what is his background? It's sort of...
Just sharks, man.
It was sort of like... Wasn't even the first one like just some sort of beach bum, wasn't he? Mm-hmm. Yeah, just basically doing fuck all, hanging about in a bar with that old guy who really loved his stool for some reason. Not a euphemism, an actual stool.
I actually think, and I've been giving this some thought since I watched it, I think that his character draws direct inspiration from fake Scott Bakula from Shark Attack 2. Because A,
it's all coming round, mate.
He sounds like Scott Bakula.
Yeah.
And B, his background is basically as vague. Yeah, sharks, innit?
Yeah. I just kind of hang around, and when a shark turns up, I do a shark thing.
Yeah.
Cool, okay. How'd you make an income? Well...
Sharks, innit?
Yeah, Scott Bakula voiceover.
Yeah.
So, we finally go to New York City itself, and we're introduced to Finn's sort of side family. So we've got his sister, brother-in-law, 2 kids. They decide to split off.
Can I announce my horror movie cliche moment of the week?
You can.
Sequel set in New York.
Yeah.
Yes, 100%, yeah.
Or sequel set in a big city. I know the first one was Los Angeles.
Yeah.
But this is set in a big city, like an upgrade. And the city is a character.
Yeah, more iconic landscapes, isn't it, in New York?
So,
and also, sorry, just while we're in this little sequence, special shout out to whoever knocked up on all the credits on PowerPoint as well.
Yes, mate, beautiful stuff, that one.
That was terrible. It's just like, here's the text popping out, and then it cuts to the next shot, but we forget to take the text away.
Yeah.
They just had a couple of lawyers going spare, not doing anything. So they thought, fuck it, you can do the credits, and the other one can do the CGI.
Follow these tutorials, mate, you'll be alright.
Yeah. Use iMovie.
So we've got the family, the brother-in-law and his son are going to a baseball game. His sister and daughter-in-law are going to... it's like a boat trip, isn't it?
To Staten Island.
Yeah.
See the statue.
Yeah.
From Ghostbusters 2, yeah.
Going over a bit of water, I'm sure, that won't come into play anything.
Just the most unnecessarily over-the-top touristy family imaginable.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Oh, look, it's a building.
Yeah.
I love the shots here because they had to film from an upwards angle to basically hide the fact that they've got a load of guardrails around it. It explains how the hell they're able to film in the middle of Manhattan.
Yes.
In the middle of the day without being crowded out. I mean, you can still see people in the background gawping at them. Oh, it's a film. But yeah, it shouts out to that as well.
Yeah.
Well done. I only saw the guardrail 5 or 6 times, so it's fine. And, they don't realise yet that Finn and Tara Reid have been in a plane accident, essentially.
Accident.
And we...
vocab guidelines specify we have to say collision, Wilson. Accident implies there's no one to blame.
Oh. But,
shout out to Hot Fuzz.
Here we go.
We go to a weird like news report with Finn giving his warning to a city, and there's Andy Dick as a policeman. It's a shame that out of all the celebrity cameos, he's the one that doesn't get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the way that they play sort of Finn as the guy who's warning the citizens of an impending danger by making him look like a deranged nutball who would never be believed by anybody.
Yeah, no, I mean, Invasion of Body Snatchers came to mind with this one.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird choice because everyone knows about the Sharknados. There's literally a book about it, and they're there to do a press tour. So why is the policeman there going, you're being crazy?
Yeah, boy, crazy.
It literally makes no sense.
No.
And what also doesn't make any sense is he decides to do this news report, and then he goes to check on his ex-wife at the hospital. He's just lost her arm and is bleeding quite a lot and might die.
Which brings us nicely to sequel cliche number 2. Boring fucking hospital scene.
Yeah.
So one of our heroes gets injured early and goes to an hospital. Great.
Tedious.
Fantastic.
One might say that hospital at some point will not be as safe as everyone insists it is.
No.
Very likely.
No.
Very likely.
And also at this point, we are introduced to what becomes a feature of the entire Sharknado series, weirdly enough, and that's all these, I find them quite weird, American daytime TV shows.
Quite like these.
I quite like these as well. I think they're almost a little bit satirical.
Yeah.
Here has seen a weather pattern like the one we've had this summer here.
Matt, this is nuts, and we've already had record-breaking heat. Now we're talking about the potential of snowfall in the outer
July.
I know. It sounds like a joke. It is not, my friends. We have this Arctic air mass that's coming in. It's going to bring at least 3 to 4 inches of snow, making its way through the outer boroughs and parts of northwestern New Jersey. Same time, a massive low-pressure system developing. It is going to bring wind, and it is going to bring torrential rains. So we are looking at a convergence zone right over Manhattan that is going to bring weather you've never seen before, Matt. This is unprecedented.
All you can do is just shake your head, Al. Thanks very much. And Al's going to bring us the latest developments on this bizarre weather as they come in.
When I spent a week in New York, and I woke up every day to American morning TV, and it is Kelly and Michael, and that weather guy and the news anchor. They're actually those real people.
Yes, I know, because I went to New York and watched them as well,
And they play themselves with fake lines so very well.
Yeah.
With the same bullshit, talking about shoes and crap. It really got it. That's probably my favourite aspect of the film.
Well, I must say they do a lot better job than when they try and like get someone from BBC to do it for like a British film, and they're quite clearly their lines are a bit more. They sound a lot more rehearsed.
Yeah, because British people can't actually physically say zombies. You try getting them to say anything like a Sharknado, and then it's like
remove the head or destroy the brain.
Yeah, it feels wrong.
It does, yeah.
Give it to Americans. It's like, oh yeah, fine, yeah, let's go. Yeah.
6 months on from Z-Day.
I've just always found something a bit off about these American daytime shows. I don't know why.
Yeah, I watched one once where someone ate a pizza and the entire crowd started clapping and cheering. The fuck's that about? Jesus, carry on.
It's like these type of shows, like you're all like happy and smiling all that lot. But then I watched one. It was more of a news report where they were trying to justify waterboarding. So
yes,
awkward.
Yeah, just a bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I find that sort of thing creepy. Moving on.
After there was just a little bit after this that I just wanted to mention, because I don't know if you guys noticed this, but just after the first scene with the news people, there's a bit where Finn talks to his sister on the phone, and he's in the middle of New York, and he's talking to her on hands-free.
Yeah.
He's like holding his phone, and who the fuck does that?
People on reality TV shows.
Ah, fuck me. Yeah. Like, just insane. Weird.
I noticed because where I work there's like a lot of like young people around, and they do the same thing.
Really?
Yeah, but the reason why they do it on reality TV shows is so they can sync the dialogue in editing.
Yeah.
But but I'd say that is a thing now. People walk around with like the phone out in front of him.
How fucking odd.
To be fair, I will often use speakerphone because it's louder than the earpiece. And if I'm walking down the street or something, I just cannot hear what's on the earpiece.
Okay.
Maybe it's because I'm getting on a bit, yeah.
Maybe it's me. Maybe I'm the odd one out.
Nah, I'm with you on that one. Bloody kids and reality TV shows.
Fucking whoopee snippers.
So the next scene is Finn is sent off to the baseball game because the Sharknado is heading right towards the stadium, and even though it's like all over TV and everything, no one's thought to notify the baseball stadium that there might be a bit of a problem and we should probably evacuate now.
Finn's family are there.
Yes, that's right. Yeah, that's why he's sent there. I forgot to mention that bit. Yeah,
Dropped a C-bomb, Rob.
It is a bit contrived, isn't it?
it's quite contrived. Yeah, sorry, listeners.
I did quite like the scenes in the baseball stadium, just because it's kind of when the storm comes in and hits, it is just the right amount of ridiculous.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Like I love the fact that when everyone's running out of the stadium and it's snowed all of a sudden, if you watch the people's feet when they're running, they ain't running on real snow. Put it that way.
I don't think so. No.
The first thing it's a trend that keeps reappearing throughout the film, but I noticed it here first, is that they would have shot some days with Finn and then shot the reaction shots with the rest of the family on different days, and there is no attempt to match the light at all.
No.
When he first tips up, it's clearly beaming sunshine, and they've put a blue filter over it. And then once he sits down with his family, then it's clearly in a studio, and everything just looks blue lit.
Yeah.
It's shocking, but at the same time, they've probably done it on purpose.
To make it look even shitter.
I don't know. I can't say whether they don't give a shit or they're doing it on purpose.
It's very hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
Only the asylum can answer us that.
Exactly, yeah. But that's how you make a film like this for $5 million, I guess. It's just not give a shit.
I guess one of life's great mysteries, isn't it?
Yeah.
Just to mention as well, we've got introduced a couple of characters. We've got the taxi driver.
Yes, mate.
Who keeps appearing.
Yes, mate. Shout out to Jeff Goldblum's dad from Independence Day.
That's who it is.
Yeah.
I kept thinking, I know you. I'm sure I meant to know you.
He's making loads of Jewish jokes. He's driving a yellow cab. This really feels like a film set in New York now.
If you get this message, call me back on my cell phone. I'm coming to get you. If we don't connect, you gotta get back to Manhattan as soon as you can.
Hey, I recognize you. You're that guy that got eaten by the great white and lived to tell about it.
How you doing?
Where do you think I picked you up? This storm's gonna be a real ass kicker. The other day, ash can came flying off the street and hit me in the windshield. Take a look at that, huh? Almost crapped in my pants.
I gotta get to the ballpark.
What? Baseball? Today? You're lucky they come out of the clubhouse today.
It's not baseball I'm worried about.
He's in a disaster film set in New York.
Yeah.
I quite liked when he asked Finn, like, what does the inside of a shark smell like? Well, we all want to know that, you just won't know. And also, with in the baseball stadium, we've got the brother-in-law and his son, and we've also got Finn's old flame from the sounds of it, Vivian A. Fox.
Yeah, correct. Yep. Another Independence Day alumni.
Yep.
She was Will Smith's missus in the first one.
Yeah, she's had a bit of work done.
Yeah, just a touch. She's also in the sequel.
Yeah.
And the brother-in-law's had a bit of work done as well. You know what I mentioned to you? It's a film about, actors that are on the down and out in their early 40s who've had a bit of work done and can't afford to have more work. There's a lot of surprised faces here.
There is.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of half-finished job.
Yeah, kind of like the alien wearing that dude's skin in Men in Black.
Oh,
Just
what a visual.
Looking slightly more uncomfortable than they should be.
Yes, mate.
Maybe the deal was, okay, you can do half your face now, do this Sharknado film, and you can get the rest done.
Wee.
Yeah!
Meet you halfway, literally.
And, so the baseball game's going on. We've got this really weird scene as well where there's the guy from 30 Rock, Judah, can't remember his second name now.
Is this the guy that plays the ex-baseball player?
Yeah.
No, is the one that approaches the ex-baseball player.
Right,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and there's this prolonged scene where he's basically giving all sorts of exposition about what this baseball player's done.
But the scene, the uncomfortable stuff I was talking about earlier, where they're just giving screen time to people that wanted to be in it.
Yeah.
This is the prime example.
Yeah. I'm sure I'm supposed to recognise who that ex-baseball player is as well.
I recognise him from Stargate, that's it.
Right.
Because he looks like a fish.
Okay. I was just thinking he wasn't meant to be an actual ex-baseball player who was on the down and out, is it? We're just basically exploiting him for a cheap laugh.
I had him down in my notes as cut price Alfred Molina.
Yeah. And it's weird because then he gets like a bit of a happy ending, because when like the Sharknado comes in and everyone runs away, as you say, he stays behind. He grabs a baseball bat and he strikes one of the sharks into the scoreboard. Finally hits a home run that he apparently missed 20 years before, made him a disgrace. So at least that guy had a happy ending.
Yeah, got brought around. Yeah,
in fact, might as well call out the end of the film. Popcorn rating, turd rating, everyone?
63 turds.
Yes.
There's a little bit after this that I just wanted to check in on. Whereas basically after the scene at the ballpark, they go back to the girls who are on a boat going away from the Statue of Liberty.
Yep.
And one of them gets tagged out by a shark, and it's actually pretty fucking horrific.
Oh, this is the face maul, isn't it?
Yeah, the face mauling. Yeah, it's like one of the only scenes in the film that's actually slightly horrific.
Yeah.
Just thought, as we're a horror podcast, I'd just slip that in there.
Just slip it in there, yeah.
We don't want like blood and gore on our podcast.
No, that's true.
What are you doing?
No, very true. I apologise.
We'll end up with a fucking explicit rating if we're not careful on iTunes.
Oh, fucking hell, Wilson.
Fuck's sake. Right, so we'll go to the subway next. Everyone gets on board, which is a terrible idea. If like a disaster was happening, you just would not get on.
It's New York, so it's got to have a subway in there.
Of course, yeah.
And then there's also a pizza parlour later on, but I'm not going to spoil that.
Shout out to the product placement team for the subway product placement in a subway.
Beautiful. Did they even mention Subway sandwiches at one point? I'm pretty sure.
Well, this is where it gets awkward, because they cut to like the next stop. This is where we've got that Paris Hilton guy, whatever happened to him.
Yep.
And Jared from Subway, which in hindsight pretty fucking awkward.
Ooh, did not clock that. I've only seen him in South Park for me. So.
Yeah, he's the guy actually holding the Subway sandwich. He got done for basically being like the guy from Lost Prophets about literally 2 months after this film came out.
Oh shit!
Yeah,
really?
Yeah.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Out
so I
as
have
a
no
nonce,
context.
mate.
Oh my god!
Jared was the guy who was like £450 and then just decided to eat 2 Subway sandwiches a day. And then lost a load of weight.
Oh, fuck.
And then there was a documentary about it.
Yeah.
And on the documentary, there was loads of really fucking pig-thick Americans like, well, we can't afford 2 Subway sandwiches a day. And then he was like, so just make 2 sandwiches. Just this awkward silence.
And Subway were like, shit! Fuck!
Where is this damn train? You should really be eating fresh too, you know.
And he was their official spokesperson for a few years.
Yeah, it was like
despite the South Park rinsing he got.
Oh dear.
Which is quite good. But then, he was outed as a pretty bad nonce.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Did not know any of that.
Ouch. Yeah.
Back to the Coors Light product placement. Then,
Yes,
I guess.
mate. I think
exactly.
That's a bit of Van Damme.
The good news is the Sharks tag him out anyway, so
so that's all good.
In between, but on the subway we get the good old carriages breaking in half, sharks appearing, water everywhere. Guy from 30 Rock gets it.
Yeah, angry, piss annoying commuters getting tagged out by sharks. Just when you thought you weren't supposed to empathise with the sharks, this happens.
Fan on the cemetery. Brian, look out! Go, I'm gonna help her! Go, get out, go, go!
I hate the subway.
You okay?
All right, man? Yeah, come on. Let's get upstairs. All right. Ben! Left hip.
Yeah. Might want that.
And, well, say they'll make it through, so we get our subway scene. Hooray, New York.
Yep.
Then the next scene is the taxi driver, Jeff Goldblum's dad reappears.
Goldblum's dad,
Jeff Goldblum's dad reappears, and they formulate a plan to basically fuck shit up with a Sharknado, which includes going to get supplies from dramatically convenient places, which includes... Was it like a bloody sword shop or something?
Sword shop. Swag Arrows.
Yeah.
Which was the Toys R Us substitute.
Yeah.
This is kind of... I think, is this intercut with... one of my favourite fucking sequences of film where it goes back to the girls and then the Statue of Liberty's head starts tagging people out and there's bin men.
Yeah, that's right.
It just keeps turning corners. And
yeah. Well, we get this because we're going to get to mention I've seen this film like 4 times now. Yeah, I know. And I've never even clocked on it. It's the friend of Finn's sister that's along with him. And she gets tagged out pretty badly. Like either the role on the New York version of Boris Bikes, riding along, and then a shark just basically flops on the sky and kills her off.
Yeah, that's my kill of the week, by the way.
Yeah,
nice.
It's pretty. I think what makes it work, it's surprisingly effective, if a bit jarring for this film, was the daughter's reaction to it.
Yeah,
it was quite nice in showing that fucking hell, this is actually quite serious. Someone has died. And it's not a joke.
Yeah,
it worked well. But like I said, probably wrong film for that reaction.
Well, yeah, it doesn't go anywhere with it, does it?
I know.
Yeah, there's a little segment here where we're cutting between all these things happening and everyone's getting tagged out, and it's like one ridiculous situation. So you're like, I think this is round about the bit where we have our pizzeria scene as well, with Finn and his mate while he's going around trying to get shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. With the running joke, this is New York, you can't find guns anywhere here. You can't find chainsaws anywhere here.
Yeah.
With a closed down hardware store and shit. Which obviously pays off later when people just roll up with like millions of guns and chainsaws.
Yeah, of course.
A truck full of chainsaws.
Yeah, and then the fish falls through the ceiling, the shark falls through the ceiling, and they smash it in the pizza oven.
Yeah.
Which I thought was quite strong effort.
That was a pretty beautiful scene.
Yeah.
Vinny!
Sorry, we're closing.
I'm just looking for Vinny. Is he around?
Yo, Vinny, you got a visitor!
Well, look who's back from La La Land. Just in time for the end of the world.
What's happening, Vinny?
What are you doing here on a day like this? Don't you see what the storm has done to the city?
I'm hoping you can help me out with some emergency supplies. Those propane tanks you had from all those summer barbecues, you still got them?
Do you got a screw loose? Don't you see it's dangerous out there? I'll give you a slice of pie. You're safer in here than out there. Take whatever you want. Take it! Just take it!
I think his mate who runs the pizza parlour might be a rapper.
Oh, really?
Distinctly recognise his voice from a Beastie Boys track.
Okay.
I don't know for sure. I just thought it was just the owner of a pizzeria, and he might be some sort of local legend, I guess. I don't know.
I think he's a rapper. He's not an actor, most certainly not.
He's definitely not an actor.
He just kind of stares at the floor and just says some lines.
Yeah, he just basically is what's he like? He's like, when he's asked for like supplies, he's like, no, get out of here. And then Shark comes through and he's just like, take it all.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely not an actor, but at the same time, and I know, listen, I know there's an element of this is sort of like we joke about, and it's part of the charm of these films, but ain't nobody in this film an actor. Do you know what I mean? It's the acting is beyond fucking community theatre. It's just painful at times.
I see more as postmodern. It's beyond acting.
New plane of conscience achieved.
Yeah, exactly. It's like an acting zen.
Yeah,
like acting that isn't acting because it doesn't need to be acting.
Yeah.
It's real, damn it.
Another one of my favourite little bits comes up after that as well, where it cuts back to the sort of newsroom setting, and it's a weather report, and the weather person says that it's raining sharks at a rate of 2 centimetres per hour, to which I've sort of said to myself, how fucking small are these sharks? Was it whitebait? I'm very confused.
Yeah. It must be whitebait, and it's all like falling sequentially, so it's just like sort of slowly stacking up.
Yeah, exactly, but only up to 2 centimetres an hour.
Exactly, yeah. And around this time as well, we go back to Tara Reid, and, she's either the hospitals or, gone to hell because of this Sharknado attack, so she goes to leave, and along the way she comes across a scared girl, so she like picks her up and returns her to her family, which gotta hand it to her.
Yeah, give herself a round of applause.
There's literally a bit where she says, "Take my hand," just like, well, you're not going to take your hands, are you? And so there's so much going on in this film. We've literally got 3 different things happening at once. So the next thing is we have a bit of a mini game, and I'm really angry now because I was going to make a reference. Can't remember what it is now. It's an old Atari game.
Right.
It might just be like a Tarzan knockoff where we're swinging between rope branches.
Pitfall, Jungle Hunt.
I think it's Pitfall.
Yeah, Pitfall. Yeah.
I might be both because they literally do that with taxis in this next bit.
Yes, they do actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This sequence is it's like half that bit from Tremors where they pull between the rocks, and half that bit from the Roger Moore Bond film where he runs on the back of the crocodiles.
Yes.
Some might say it's slightly contrived. Sorry, listeners.
I mean,
it's shit, mate. To be honest,
I say in this film, it's all a bit contrived, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, some might suggest that the notion of a tornado, hurricane-type situation flooding New York and dropping sharks on everybody, despite the quite obvious geographical issues with sharks being in the area in the first place, is a little contrived.
It's a little bit contrived.
And you know what else is contrived? A tornado that only picks up sharks and literally nothing else. How is it not, actually picked up a whale at some point?
Not one
whales
dolphin.
Are too heavy, mate.
A few crabs.
Dolphins. No dolphins.
No dolphins.
No dolphins.
Yeah.
Not at that time of year, mate.
Yeah.
Not one octopus. I was disappointed.
It's a very specific tornado, isn't it?
Yeah.
I wonder if I'm ever going to explain that. I mean, I know as of recording, Sharknado 6 is out. I
think is it out now?
Well, it's gonna, when we release this episode, it'll be out in about a month's time,
right?
And it's supposed to be the final one.
Yeah. Channel 4 will buy it and keep it going.
Yeah,
TV series, mate.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah,
like a 20-part on Netflix.
Yeah,
it's got to be done.
They'll have a massive budget and it'll become like a really sort of dramatic, serious production.
But they've done these weird things with Sharknado from spoiler alert, in the third film they go into space.
Yeah.
And they've still not actually explained why it only just picks up sharks. And literally this next film involves time travel to go back to the beginning.
Okay, right.
But they've still not explained why just sharks.
I think it's just accepted, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
It's a bit like there's another film called Stonados that only picks up stones. I mean, I think it's all part of the same universe as well. Maybe it's specific tornadoes we don't know about.
Well, they're missing out on the opportunity of a massive crossover hit, aren't they? They could have a triple storm system where one storm picks up rocks, the other one picks up paper, and the other one picks up scissors.
Hey, fucking hell, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all cancel each other out. Film ends in 5 minutes.
It's like Alien versus Predator, mate. It's the monster mash we've been waiting to see.
Next, they make it to the hotel, which is what their agreed rendezvous point to begin with.
Yeah.
So hooray for that. And we get a weird bit where Finn starts to talk to Vivian O'Fox in the lift about the woes of fame and fortune.
Yeah. And this is sort of intercut. We go back to the weather studio again at this point where some might say this is slightly contrived as well, where sorry listeners, where the weather people explain that the height and the ferocity of the storm is at its worst above the specific hotel in New York that they're all in. It couldn't be, a certain block. It couldn't be a certain part of Manhattan. It has to be above the hotel that they are in.
Beautiful.
Now receiving reports that the twisters from the rivers are about to merge. Apparently this will happen right over the Bales Tower Hotel. And Al, the big question is, first of all, what is drawing these two twisters together? And I don't even want to ask, but what happens when they finally meet?
Matt, I am really nervous about this. In fact, I'll say I'm downright scared. Here's the problem. Island of Manhattan creates a lot of heat. As that hot air rises, cool air is sucked in to replace it. That effect is drawing these Sharknados to the very heart of the city. Now, if these two EF2 tornadoes merge, their power could actually multiply. We could be talking about an EF5 Sharknado on the Upper East Side of Manhattan. Matt, that's sufficient power enough to damage steel-reinforced skyscrapers.
I've never seen anything like this. Stay with us, Al. We go live to Manhattan with weatherman Rafael Miranda from our local station, that's NBC4. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening down there, Rafael?
Thanks, Matt. This storm is already taking a toll on the city. The residents are panicked because of the sharks that keep raining down from the sky.
It's got a lightning rod, though, hasn't it?
True.
That's the problem. It's the only building in the entire of New York that has a lightning rod on it.
Absolutely. Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah. So, you
not
know.
right either.
Hotel's fault.
Yeah.
It shouldn't be up there. What's
Dramatically convenient hotel.
You know, it should be concentrating more on, like, putting those chocolates on the pillows instead of, you know, instead of building a fucking lightning rod
Fold
on
my
there.
fucking towel into a bird or you're fired.
I'm off to stay in the Hilton.
Right, so they go up to the 64th floor, very specific. It's off a building to try and take out these Sharknadoes, and their plan is to basically lob glorified dynamite at it. Because that's what works in the first film.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just lobbing bombs in it with a big novelty slingshot.
Yeah.
Which is pretty funny.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
It is the American way.
Yeah.
It's like Dennis the Menace's wet dream.
Absolutely.
It is. Yeah, quite a few similarities to Dennis the Menace, really, in these little sequences.
But so they go up there and it doesn't really work. If they like lob at it, it sort of explodes, does a slight bit of damage. I think a few sharks fall to the floor, but apart from that, does bugger all really.
No.
And I love the fact that Vivica A. Fox gets on Finn's case about this as if it's his fucking fault.
Yeah.
And he's like, come on, guys, I'm trying my fucking best here. Can you please get off my back? But she's obviously, like, you know,
Sharknado
that,
expert.
Yeah, assuming that he knows everything about everything.
Yeah.
Right, that's it. Just looking at notes here, it's they lob the bombs at the sharks, so they fall to the floor on fire. So now we've got fire sharks as well.
Flaming sharks, yeah.
Which I want to see like a whole film series of that alone, like sharks on fire.
Yeah.
Just
Lava sharks, mate. Yeah, lava sharks.
Yeah. We have had Sand Shark starring Brooke Hogan.
True, yeah. One would suggest, though, that in a city that's been well established that is in fact flooded, that flaming sharks aren't really that much of a risk once they hit the ground that's flooded.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to get you. Oh, no.
But the arcs, they've got oily skin, haven't they? So they'll just keep burning.
Right, okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, come on.
Stop searching for logic in Sharknado 2, the second one.
You know, it's Sharknado, you know. It's got to have some sort of sense here.
There's something in there, and I'm sure we'll figure it out by the end.
Yeah.
Probably not, though. I mean, you know, unless it's going to be a 3-hour episode.
This episode's going to go down like a ball of flames, isn't it? So next, the sharks start entering the hotel like they've got legs or something. No, Finn and Vivian A. Fox retreat back down the stairs while the family, because the hotel lobby's getting flooded, they head upstairs, meet each other halfway, and wouldn't you know it, the sharks are also there. They're like, hello.
And it's only flooding upwards inside the hotel for some reason.
Yeah, I don't know how that's happened, because it's not even like it's raining when they're delivering the fire sharks. So where's that water come from?
Entirely localised in this hotel at this time of year.
If I'm honest, it's a bit of a problematic situation, because the top end kill of the week on the Boris bike that we discussed earlier takes place right outside the hotel, where there's no water on the floor. But now it's flooding upwards in the hotel. It's a very confusing situation. Some might say a little bit contrived.
It's something.
It's a thing that happened.
It is a thing that happened, yeah. But there is a nice little bit of slow-mo action, I think, going on here.
This is the bit in the stairwell, isn't it?
What with the axes?
Fire axe.
With the fire axe and such,
Yeah. I found this scene distinctly confusing, because it's like, let's band together, old school friends, let's team up, right? And you distract the shark, but make sure you distract him whilst you stood next to me, to make sure that he comes over here whilst they get the axe. Right, okay.
Yeah, and the CGI is particularly bad in this scene as well.
Yeah,
the shark.
It's just, you can't really distract a shark in a stairwell where it's only got so many places to go.
Not really, no.
And when the distraction brings it closer to you anyway.
Yeah.
So. You're like, hey shark, look over there.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, so far you could say it's been a real fish out of water story, this.
The problem with this fucking podcast is we're picking too many things where we can make fish puns.
I know, yeah.
What to our gills in Jim Durham puns?
Oh dear. Oh
dear. Yeah. I mean,
I think you've netted yourself a winner with this one, though, Willie.
Yeah,
netted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It might muscle its way to the top of the chart of our most successful podcast.
Absolutely, yeah. If you keep trawling through this franchise,
we just keep biting away at it, I'm sure.
Exactly, yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
We'll be reeling in those listeners.
Right, Willie, stick your oar in and carry on.
I've had enough.
What?
Cod. So, in comes the army. Well, Tara Reid in a 5-engine.
Yes, mate.
Yeah.
Tara Reid now looking a little bit like Ash from Evil Dead.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Is this where we get Olympic gold medalist Kurt Angle?
Well, first of all, we get back to the Today Show reporting that there's now 3 Sharknados on the loose.
All converging together or something like that?
All centralised in that
hotel.
one place, yeah. Well, they call it a Sharknado, despite the fact it's quite clearly a twister.
A Schwister?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Schwister.
Absolutely correct.
So, first of all, we have the mayor, who I'm sure is supposed to be someone else. I've got no idea. Maybe an actual mayor. And in comes Kurt Angle. So,
Kurt Angle, do a New York accent. Why? Just make it more uncomfortable for everyone else.
How's everyone feeling about Kurt Angle's appearance here?
Well, I mean, there's a wrestler cameo in each one, isn't there?
There is from now on, yes.
Yeah.
I think, as a wrestler appearing in a film, he's done a better job than some wrestlers that were starred in films, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's better than fucking Thunder in Paradise.
Get out. Thunder in Paradise is a classic.
Thunder, thunder!
If I'm being honest, I'm only doing this podcast as a launch pad for my Thunder in Paradise podcast.
Your fucking Thunder in Paradise spin-off.
He's going to discuss 5 minutes of it every week. Each episode's 3 hours long.
Yeah.
And then he's going to go back to the start and start again. Oh, he ever does 5 minutes of every episode.
It's a classic. So yeah,
he's alright, he's fine.
Yeah.
My thoughts on the Kurt Angle's performance. You suck. You suck. You suck. You suck. No, it's fine. I just wanted to get that in there.
Mr. Mayor, I have to talk to Finn. The Freon tanks are still out there. Just inside the control room. Above the observation deck.
You got the schematics for the lightning rod?
Yeah. The Twisters are expecting me in about 8 minutes.
This might work.
I don't understand. What's your plan?
Well, we can't equalize the pressure with a bomb. It's too dangerous, and the twisters are too cold, right?
Right.
Well, if I can't blow it out, I'll freeze it out. I'll throw the Freon tank into the storm.
I have no idea if that's going to work. But it's a moot point. We don't have the explosives here to make that happen.
That's why I'm going to use a lightning rod to blow the Freon tank through the building into the storm.
That's crazy. You'll get killed.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
And they come up with a new plan, which is, what if they freeze the Schwister?
Right, yeah.
Okay. So,
might work the same way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
You'd have thought so, wouldn't you? But, it's not fire, so...
There is a bit here where Finn decides to jump on top of a vehicle and give an inspirational speech.
Before then, though, we get quite a good kill.
Go on.
Where he's stood up there about to give a speech, like everyone's crowded around, and suddenly we're kind of like, watch out, Finn. Here comes a shark, so he just casually points the chainsaw up in the air, and the shark just slices itself in two.
In slow-mo.
In slow motion as well. I thought it was quite well done, actually.
A couple of things to note about that. One, he does that and then just casually starts delivering his speech, which I'll go into a little bit in a second. Two, no blood on him.
No.
Which is fair enough.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, he launches into his speech, which going back to the Independence Day references, I think is designed to be a sort of similar situation to Bill Pullman's speech in Independence Day. Bill Pullman, this is not.
No,
this is better.
Controversial opinion, Willie. It reminded me of a scene of, I would say one of my favourite films. It's a film I saw called Wild Zero, about the Japanese rock band Guitar Wolf.
Right.
Good name.
Very good name. Who are in a zombie movie, but the zombies are controlled by aliens, and when the alien spaceship is flying overhead, about to leave Earth, one of the guys from Guitar Wolf is just on a roof and shouts in bad English, "Lock and Lol," plays a few chords on his guitar, pulls the neck off the guitar, and it's a samurai sword, and then holds it up like that and splits the spaceship in half.
Obviously the best film ever made.
Absolutely. And then does a thing with a Zippo and lights a cigarette and then just jumps down.
Stunning.
We were doing that film. Fuck the concept for CineMortuary. I want to do that film. That and Nightblade.
Yeah.
Two films I want to review. Yeah, so we get the speech. There's a storm coming. Blah, blah, blah. New York. Yeah.
Yeah, New Yorkers band together.
Yeah. This is definitely not some sort of
really
9/11 type speech.
Really awkward.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, what's he evoking here?
Yeah, we're going there. Okay, with the fire department as well.
Tactful stuff.
Bitter taste.
That's a bit. There's more subtlety on that episode of SmackDown after 9/11 happened.
Which I'm watching currently.
Yeah, you are. Where Stephanie McMahon compared the terrorist attacks to when her dad was indicted for dealing steroids to everyone.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, which I must point out was 2 days after it occurred.
2 seconds, lads. Hello, Ethero.
This is a bit like that bit in Shaun of the Dead, where they're outside the pub and he answers the phone.
Oh, shit.
All right, Noodle.
It's a robot telling me that my TalkTalk internet line's going to be disabled.
All right, Noodle. Nah, I ain't got anything, mate. No, not even an emerald.
Didn't you...
Put some hold music over that. It'll be fine.
Well, the last time they called, they wanted to access remotely my computer by getting me to install some bullshit software.
Oh, yeah, sounds legit.
Yeah. And then I said, I'm just going to put you through to the IT department, and the guy started crying and screaming at the other end. Obviously, the guy had a gun to his head or something. And I said, it's fine, I'm going to put you on hold just 1 second. Blasted grindcore down the phone for 5 minutes, then picked up the phone and said, hello, Ethero IT. And he was still there.
So yeah, back to SmackDown 2001.
We'll keep it that bit in, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah, you're quite right. Stephanie McMahon does compare it to the steroid scandal. Interesting thing to note about that SmackDown is it took place 2 days after 9/11. 2 days.
Agony.
I'm just happy we got 2 wrestling references in one episode.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, not bad. Yeah, so after the speech, they're going to go back to up to floor 64 to freeze the Sharknadoes this time. Along the way, Tara Reid comes across a convenient bandsaw attachment, looks at hand and goes, ooh.
Oh yeah, that's the Evil Dead moment. Yeah, okay, my bad. I was a little bit premature there.
So you might say that's a bit bolted on. Yes, mate.
So back up they go, and essentially they've got to transmit. Well, they've got to ignite the lightning emitter.
Yep.
And unfortunately, the cord that they had for it doesn't reach well. So unfortunately, it's goodbye to Vivian A. Fox as she has to sacrifice herself to get this thing ignited.
The dramatically convenient cord.
Yeah.
She does get tagged out in quite an intense way, though, doesn't she? they all get blown off the building.
Yeah.
And they're in the Sharknado with the sharks, and Finn's like fucking about trying to surf on them. And
Yeah.
she just gets ripped apart.
Brilliant. This is where the film just goes fuck it, and it just goes absolute batshit insane.
Yeah.
Because
Now
now
we've got 3 days left in this green screen studio. Go for it. Yeah.
But better go for it now, because while this is happening, this is when the whole city in New York reveals that they've had weapons all along. Like each one just casually carrying around a pitchfork, and
I think this is the bit where the checks from Coors Light and Subway cleared.
Yep.
And they're like, fuck it.
Game on.
Yeah. So you've got water pistols full of petrol.
Beautiful.
And all that lot. We've got pitchforks. We've got, people throwing chainsaws around.
Yeah.
The guy just chucking chainsaws into the tornado.
Yeah.
And just having them spin around, just hacking up sharks in midair. That is fucking funny.
It is.
My
Great.
favourite bit of the film is in this sequence where there's a montage of people getting weapons out of the boot of their car, and it gets progressively worse. Like the first one's a tyre iron, and you think fair enough. Then some guy brings out a machete, and then some guy throws a load of blankets out of the way, and he's got a boot full of guns. It's just
it just builds up to anti-tank weapons.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
So did you see any of this when you went to New York? People just grabbing all the shit out of a car.
I did not. I was always worried about it though.
Yeah, I was actually. I was just thinking, at least 5 of his people on the subway has got a gun on them.
Fuck this.
Did you take your copy of How to Survive a Sharknado with you just in case when you went to New York?
I should have done.
Yeah, took a risk there, mate.
And in the tornado, going back, we've got Finn riding the shark like a surfboard, which is quite cool. And he rides it on and impales it on top of the lightning emitter.
I love a good novelty impalement, to be honest. Reminded me of Ace Rimmer, though. Surfing on the shark.
Brilliant.
Sorry, not the shark, the crocodile.
It was a crocodile, yeah. And wouldn't you know, I think this is the same shark as well, there's a second one.
Yep.
So back on the tower, him and Tara Reid, and basically the Sharknado threat is gone. It's towards the end of the film.
Yep.
But here comes another shark flying towards him. He takes care of it. And wouldn't you know it, this is the same shark from the plane that ate Tara Reid's hand. So
that bookending, mate.
Yeah.
Oosh.
It'd be beautiful screenwriting, tied it all together.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Much better than that Sid Field shit, The best ones are the ones you don't expect. So slightly before that, he gets someone in the end, proposes to marry her again, because we sort of neglect to mention, it's sort of it's Tara Reid's his ex-wife. Things have been rocky since the first film.
Yep.
Where she was dating that dickhead who got eaten by a shark, which is quite funny.
Yep.
So he proposes to her, but at the same time, basically reaches into the shark, grabs out her hand, gets out the ring that she was wearing anyway for no reason.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
And puts it on her other hand, which hasn't been detached yet. And as they're about kissing away and all that lot, one of the fiery sharks reappears, lands on a truck of fireworks.
Yep.
And the fireworks start going off to neatly end the film.
And lest we forget the final shot of the film where the word Finn is projected against the Empire State Building.
Yeah, beautiful.
Fucketh me.
Game on.
Jesus.
Oh. Yeah, so that was Sharknado 2.
That was
the second one.
Yes, it was.
So how we feeling about it, Dave?
It was alright.
Bob?
I was physically exhausted after I finished watching it, especially the last 10 minutes when so much shit was flying around that I became I almost got motion sickness trying to follow what was going on. It was an interesting experience.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Wilson, how are you feeling? Actually, no, I'm not going to ask you.
How long have we got?
Well, I'd say only an hour into this 4-hour podcast about Sharknado 2, so here I go.
If you've got any wallpapering or decorating to do, time to get your rolls and paste out.
Oh, yeah. do. Yeah, I enjoy this film.
It was perfectly okay, to be honest.
Yeah. It's one of those where, because with a lot of crap films, they do get quite exhausting. Like the gimmick wears out quite quickly. Whereas I think apart from the plane scene, which I think does drag on too long because it like runs 15 minutes.
Fuck.
It is a long scene for a Twilight Zone parody that most people won't even get.
Yeah, no.
But apart from that, it zips along very nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, awful filmmaking, don't get me wrong,
but it doesn't drag.
No, it doesn't, and that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
Compared to even like later films in this series, which really starts to take a piss.
Yeah.
Like this and the film before it. I mean, there are like reference points, but from Sharknado 3 onwards, where it literally starts with a James Bond type sequence, and I think Sharknado 4 is shot for shot the beginning sequence of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Jesus.
Sharknado 3 onwards, it basically becomes like if like the writers of Family Guy were writing the film.
Right.
They're just like reference points bit by bit, whereas here there was still so much of the fun that brought people in the first place. It works really well.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah,
but it doesn't commit the signature Rob Yeoman's carnal sin of being boring.
No,
it's not Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, is what I'm saying.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
It's definitely a classic in the original sci-fi canon, as we said. It's pretty top shelf.
It's up there with Shark Night and it's not. It's definitely not up there with Ghost Shark. I'm just putting it out there.
Ghost Shark's pretty fucking good.
Yeah.
It's at least the Casablanca of original sci-fi films.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you want it to be. if that's what you want, Willie, God damn it, you're going to get it.
Which it is.
Thank you.
Right, Dave, third rating, popcorn rating.
I'll throw some turds around. All right, I'm going to have to go with a solid 9 on the turds, because it is slightly entertaining at times.
Yeah.
It is shit.
Yeah, it's a toilet clogger.
Yeah. There's no two ways about it. Someone has filled that toilet up with wet toilet paper to listen to the funny noise it makes.
Yeah.
Crap themselves with excitement, and then tried to put some sanitary towels down there.
And flooded the toilet.
Yeah, but in the process they've been laughing, and then everyone else is laughing because it's funny.
Correct.
9 turds.
Yep. Popcorn.
3. Yeah.
I don't think I agree with that one. But
like when I compare it to Ghost Shark,
Ghost Shark is pretty good.
Ghost Shark had less kills, but each kill was signposted way better, and there was more novelty to each one. Like that fat kid on the fucking wet slide that's like an inflatable shark mouth, and then the ghost shark just comes alive, and then it's like it just cuts to a JPEG of this kid, and it's just being slid across the frame. Oh, fucking yes, absolutely. Oh yeah. Yeah, so it's a 9 and a 3, I think.
Fair enough. Rob, third rating, popcorn rating.
So, on the turd front, I'm going to concur with Ginger Dave. I'm going to go with a toilet clogging 9. It is shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's no way around it. The rendering of the CGI, whenever a shark gets stabbed by something, a digital imaging technician dies. Do you know what I mean? It is
someone at Weta Workshop just has a heart attack and falls off their chair.
Exactly that. It's that whole thing of deliberately or otherwise, it is fucking terrible, and I don't think we can get around that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Popcorn.
This is the second time I've seen it.
Yep.
The first time I watched it, I had a rollicking good time. Doesn't hold up brilliantly on a second viewing, I'll be honest, but for me, I'm going to lather 7 popcorns on it.
Fuck me.
Not bad.
Because it is still entertaining.
Yeah.
The time goes quickly, you know, and my barometer on the sort of low side of popcorn is Mary Shelley's Frankenstein.
Yes.
And I've got to put at least 4 buckets between this and that. How about you, Christophe?
In terms of a third rating, I'm going to go for a 7. Which I think it's from my reference point, because I've seen so many of these original sci-fi films over the years. This is one that's actually substantially better than a lot of the stuff I've seen.
Yeah, there is that in production value. It is still higher somehow.
It is, yeah. So in terms of acting, in terms of CGI and all that lot, this is not even like the top 30 worst films I've ever seen. You know? It's not even close.
Not even top 30 worst shark films I've ever seen.
No.
Yeah. You have seen a lot of shark films.
I have, to be fair, and crocodile films. I think crocodiles edge it, to be fair, these days.
Just to point out, by the way, I think this is the first shark film I've ever seen that doesn't have a single reference to Jaws.
Good point.
Yeah. So, but obviously the first film did, obviously.
Yeah.
But but this one, like, it must be the first time I've seen a shark film that didn't. Go to that old well again.
Yeah.
Talk
to me about popcorns, Willie.
Popcorns, mate.
I'm going to go with a 7 as well.
Okay.
Interesting. I might have gone a bit higher, but I've seen better films for this podcast, and to be fair, after 4 times.
That is a lot.
It starts getting slightly a bit much, but I still zip through it. It's one of the easiest films I've seen for a podcast so far.
Well, I think by our unique rating system, that's probably the highest scoring we've had technically so far. I think
a 7 under 7.
Like aggregately across the 3 of us.
Yeah.
I think that's probably. I will one day do a tot up of all these, and I'll do a chart, like maybe for an anniversary special or some shit. But I think that's going to be up there.
Yeah.
It will be. Yeah, crack over the Excel spreadsheet. I'm quite interested to see.
I do love an Excel spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Right. We should probably talk about our next 3 picks.
Probably should, shouldn't we?
Roberto.
Yeah. So I'm in the hot seat next.
Yep.
So I've decided that we're going to be taking a bit of a trip to Blair Witch. Film was remade in 2016. Has anybody seen the 2016 remake?
I've not seen any of them, but I do own them both. So.
You've not seen the 2016 remake?
I've not seen the original either.
Right, you've not seen the original?
No.
Okay.
Really?
You've not seen the 2016 remake?
No, I have not.
Okay, news is neither of you are going to, because it's Blair Witch 2, Book of Shadows.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Shit, yeah.
A sequel so bad that the most profitable independent film of all time, this was the only sequel to it, and it was not revisited for 16 years.
That is impressive.
So get your shit shovels ready for that one, lads.
So ready and primed, mate. Dear me.
And Dave?
Then it'll be me, won't it?
Yeah.
I'm going to go for one that will be more of an interesting... It might be one of the more interesting discussions we've had on the podcast. It's a squeakquel.
Okay.
A squeakquel? Alvin and the Chipmunks 2.
Yeah. Alvin and the Chipmunks 3, Chipwrecked.
Fuck off.
No, this is...
Jim Duggan's just ejaculated everywhere.
Oh, God, I don't want to know.
The visual.
Go home.
About 2x4 is not just holding it up at the moment.
Oh, dear.
So this is going to probably trigger a bit more of a somber episode. We're going to go with Jeepers Creepers 3.
Oh, I was discussing this with someone last night.
Yes, I think this will be an interesting one, both in the context surrounding the film and whatnot, and just the death of what could have been a very good franchise.
Yes,
I've heard about this one.
Yes, the term dumpster fire has been used in most reviews I've read of it. So.
Yeah.
Which is a shame, because I am a Jeepers Creepers 2 apologist. So
fair enough. Yeah.
It's a sad indictment of the of the franchise. I fear.
I believe that's the first time since the first episode that we've gone for a. Oh no, sorry. I was about to say the third film of a series, but fucking Dream Warriors. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Edit that bit out. I bet you're not editing that out, are you?
Nope.
Probably not.
Fuck.
What's your pick going to be, Wilson Aero?
I realised 2 minutes ago I still haven't picked anything.
Fuck's sake, go over to the film shelf then.
He's doing a Dave.
Right. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. And
bang that holding music on, Dave.
Mummy 3. We're doing the Mummy 3. No, we're not. Fuck
We're
that.
not, okay.
Okay.
Bride of Reanimator.
I think I've wanted to do this episode for a long time as more of a science experiment, just to see what happens for a podcast. Because so far on this podcast, we've always talked about the plot, and we've had a lot to get through, and I want to see what happens when it's a film about fuck all. So let's do Paranormal Activity 2.
Oh. We're going found footage twice over.
Oh,
intense.
Yes.
I like the first one.
I don't mind the first one. I've seen the first one, and I've seen... Oh, fucking hell, which one was it? It was like the fourth one or something.
Yeah.
Fucking rubbish, mate.
Yeah, Bride of Paranormal Activity.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so...
All right. Thanks, Willie.
You're welcome, I could do Emperor for Tomb instead if you want.
Oh, Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
That's the one.
No,
that's okay.
Fine.
We don't need to do
Jet Li.
With Jet Li, yeah.
I like to imagine Jet Li in his prime.
Yeah.
Which this is not.
No. So three sequels then next time around.
Yeah, that's a good one there. Okay.
Okay.
Well, all that remains, I guess.
yeah, I'd say thanks for listening, and we'll be back again in a fortnight, probably, depending on the release schedule. We've stuck out quite well.
Yeah.
So it's goodbye from Dave.
Bye, Willie.
Goodbye from Rob.
Goodbye, Chris Wilson.
And it's a...
I was born a wandering star.
Funny kind of weather we're having.
My company's investor is literally next door, by the way, so I've got to go and get him.
Okay. Well, we're on the podcast soon.
What? Just get him in and put him on a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, he's probably pissed by now. He's in the pub.
Doesn't want to invest in a podcast.
No, mate.
Where's the upstairs?
No, he's at the Mason's Arms next. To be fair, his investment has already bought this second mic from... Oh, fucking... Don't forget, you can follow us and keep up with all our updates at CineMortuary on Twitter, /CineMortuary on Facebook, and of course at CineMortuary on Instagram. I don't know how you do pictures of podcasts, but we're going to do that anyway.